What's up, my brothers and my sisters from another mister? So today we're going to do a comic book review of Haunt, issue number 8. This is a terrifying tale of a man bound to his brother's dead ghost in the world of espionage and intrigue. Brought to you by Rated Comics. Let's get to it. We begin this issue with Mirage on the beach. She's looking like she's on a vacation at first, but then she has this sense of grief and remorse in her eyes because in the previous issues her and Kurt went on a mission, but after Kurt's death, even though she did do right by Kurt in terms of the money they got from the proceeds of that mission, she gave it to Kurt's wife, but her and Kurt were supposed to be on this beach together, but they're not because, well, you know what happened. So this guy in the shadow whispers to her and she's like, "Whisper? Never mind that. How the hell did you find me here?" And Whisper's like, "Damn, I forgot how unfriendly you are and I thought you'd be happy to see me. But anyways, I wanted to give you some news. You know what? Morgan Stance, Director Stance, has been killed. Beth Tosh has been appointed the new head of the agency, and apparently Assistant Director Rose was involved for the ERG organization, which I'm slowly learning about. But the real kicker is Kurt's brother Daniel has been made a full-time agent and now he's in training. It all doesn't make sense." So Mirage is like, "You flew all the way down here just to tell me this shit?" And the guy is like, "Look, I'm down here for other things, but you know what? You can take that gun out of my face, all right? Enjoy the sun. I just thought I'd make a trip over to fill you in on this." And then we see Amanda, Kurt's wife, even though now he's dead, so that's his widow now. She's at the grocery store adjusting to things now that she has a financial windfall. So when the cashier rings her up and tells her it'll be $38.76, will that be cash or charge? She opens up the purse and clearly you would think it'll be cash, but she prefers to charge it, indicating to us that not much has changed. She's not going to let the money affect her like that. Now, in this panel right here, Daniel and Kurt, or more like Daniel, is going through his training with the helper Kurt, and Daniel tells Kurt, this is some serious stuff that you're going to be going through. You're going to be going through a lot of dangerous situations. And Daniel's like, "Well, I've got you. I've got the suit, so how can I not handle this?" And Kurt's like, "Right, but the man inside the suit, imagine if we whip him into shape. Think about how effective he'll be. That's why you need to go through all this training." So I'm kind of thinking like this Rocky montage moment, especially Rocky 4 with Ivan Drago, that montage music, that is some beat right there. Anyway, so weeks, months, whatever it takes, Daniel reads up on everything and anything that they tell him to train him on, and he does it to the point of exhaustion. But guess what? His brother Kurt is proud of him. So exhausted, he's like, "I'm dying over here, man. I'm dying. I've never been this sore in my entire life." And Kurt's like, "Yo, man, you pulled through with flying colors, man. I'm totally impressed." So Beth Tosh, Director Tosh, walks up in the gym room and she's like, "Well, I'm sure there's chairs in here." And Daniel's like, "Well, I just kind of collapsed." "Well, then get up. I'm not dressed for you to be rolling around on the floor in front of me, and I have news for you. News you might want to stand for." "Oh yeah," says Daniel, "what's going on?" "Well, I've gotten a report from headquarters from Edward Williams. Your report is in. You've passed your status as a full-time agent, and you've just been upgraded to active." So Daddy's like, "Yeah, buddy, that's great." "Well, don't thank me. You did the work," says Director Tosh. "Now we need to come up with the code name for you." And Kurt's like, "I got a few ideas." And Daniel's like, "Nobody cares." And I'm sorry, Director Tosh, that was Kurt. I'm just telling him to shut up because I don't want to hear his stuff right now. And Director Tosh is like, "Well, that's going to take some getting used to for me on my part, but report to me base in the morning. We'll set everything up for you, all right? And I promise I won't screw this up," says Daniel. So Kurt puts his hand on his brother's shoulder like, "Hey, you pull it off, kiddo." And Daniel's like, "I think it's time for some real training." And the real training he's talking about is after hours. He wants to be all haunted up. And Daniel's like, "Are you sure about this? You've been training all day." "Yeah, I know. That's the point. Trust me on this." "Okay." And Daniel's like, "Cool, but you've been doing this a while now. Call it a night. We've been at this for a while. Let's not push ourselves to the limit. You know, we have a job to do tomorrow." Daniel's like, "I get it, but that's not what I'm worried about." "Then why the hell are we out here," says Kurt. "Well, the limit. I want to test the limit. I want to see how far I can go." "Well, you're getting pretty tired here. You're looking pretty tired right now, right? So you feeling weak right now? See how much we can handle? Well, good job. You've done it. Let's call it a night." "No, not enough," says Daniel. "I got to keep pushing." And Kurt's like, "This is dangerous. You remember what happened last time you did this? I'm not going to let you do this again." And Daniel's like, "No, I need to know what it feels like to come right to the edge of it, to feel like my body is succumbing to it, to feel myself drift off. I need to know the exact point where I've pushed hard enough, the exact point." So he jumps off from one building to another and he realizes something. I think he might have pushed himself to that point because he couldn't quite clear the jump. Hits his head on the edge, falls down, Kurt is like, Daniel, wake up, buddy boy. He uses a suit to scrape against the wall to soften the fall. He goes onto the dumpster, hits it, lands it, gets up, and Kurt's like, you happy now? You happy that we're part of this and we almost died? Don't be so reckless next time. Yeah, whatever. So he gets on the bus. He's like, reckless, huh? So all that energy drained from that train just puts him out to sleep on the bus. So meanwhile, in this panel right here, we see Cobra all laced up, ready to go up, not bricked up, but ready to get fucked up. And he's ready to do some things right now. He wants to mess with Daniel Kilgore and Haunt right now. Cobra, what are you doing, says Herg. Leaving, says Cobra. The one who did this to my face is still out there. I'm taking a leave of absence. I'm going after him. And Herg is like, no, you're not. I've invested far too much in you at this point. You're not going anywhere. And Cobra doesn't like being told what to do. I'm an assassin. You're just a bruh in a suit. Excuse me? You think you could keep me here? Like hell. Before he can finish his sentence, Herg lands a blow in his midsection and a blow to his face, and you see teeth flying out, indicating Herg is nothing to be messed with. Cobra's devastational impact from that lands on the glass, and he pulls out his gat, click clack, and Herg is like, I'm not fazed by this, bruh. Big mistake, Herg. Big mistake, says Cobra. Yeah, big mistake. You get your revenge when I say you do. You belong to me, my man. Now put that gun away before you embarrass yourself any further. Herg walks away like dropping the mic with all the drip a brother can possess. Cobra, he ran out of drip. He puts down the gun, but then again, a man with nothing to lose and vengeful, who knows how dangerous he might become. So the next morning, Danny reports to work, and this brother by the name of Scott Groves, an analyst, greets and wants to grab his bag, kissing his ass a whole bunch. And Scott tells Daniel that me and your brother Kurt were really great, we were really close. And Kurt were like, no, you weren't great, we weren't close. So he introduces him to the dorms. Before that, Mike, he's still a hard ass, says, what the hell are you doing? This guy's a new agent. He, of course, can carry this bag. And plus, we're in the middle of a mission right now. Come on now, let the brother do his thing. So Daniel takes his bag to the dorm room, and he gets introduced by this girl named Stephanie. And when I say introduced, Stephanie more or less introduces herself to Daniel. So she tells Daniel, I just got here, I just been recently transferred. This is the way to the dormitory. And I'm sure you'll find out the facilities are kind of cruddy right now because they just went through a remodel after issue number 5. So I got to get something off my chest, and I think you might be interested in it. I need a roommate, and I don't mind you being my roommate, even though I haven't got to know you. Is that kind of desperate? It's kind of straightforward, but then again, Daniel's like, yeah, that's a little desperate, but you wouldn't know where Director Tosh is, would you? So Stephanie tells her that Director Tosh is in the middle of an op right now, and I think things went pear-shaped. Oh shit. So speaking of which, we go into the op room, and this guy lets him know on the intercom that the strike team has descended, and they track this location because they've been gathering chemicals and equipment listed in what little Schillinger's notes were mentioned it. So what they found out here was a small army. The first team called in reinforcements at 4:30, and I received a distress call from that team at 0500. It's a war zone out here, and I'm getting no response from any of our agents inside. I have to assume they're all dead. Whatever is inside here, Director, I know I can't handle this on my own, and I will await further instructions. And this guy next to Director Tosh is like, well, Director, what are your options? Not many, she says. We should have been more prepared for this. We can't afford to lose any more agents at this point. I could only think of one option. Get me Agent Kilgore. We're sending in Hunt. What'd you guys think of the comic book? Comment below, let me know. Once again, I thought it was a fun read, but I'm looking forward to issue number 9 when we get into some of that action, boss. Like Marshawn Lynch, I'm just here so I won't get fined, or I'm just here because I want to get that action, boss. But anyways, you guys let me know. Link in description if you wish to add this comic book and or some of our other comic book exclusives, Rated Comics exclusives, to your comic book collection. Support the art, support the industry. Lastly, this review is sponsored by coffee, so if you'd like to buy your boy a cup of coffee, link in description or donate to the super thanks. But the greatest compliment you guys can do is by liking this video and subscribing to Rated Comics YouTube channel. Thank you again for watching. Until next time.